What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Robbie.G Show podcast. If today is your birthday, happy birthday, and here are some celebrities that share a birthday with you. Robert Downey Jr. turns 59 today. Jamie Lynn Spears is 33. Natasha Lyonne from American Pie is 45. Craig T. Nelson, who played Coach, is 80. Jill Scott is 52. And Heath Ledger, who was born in 1979 and passed away in 2008, would have also had a birthday today. So, happy birthday if today is your birthday, and hopefully everybody has a good one. We have a lot to get to today. A lot of stuff going on in sports. We got Wrestlemania this weekend. The NFL draft is coming up. We got the NBA and NHL starting their playoffs in the next few weeks. Let's see. First week of baseball, so there's a lot going on. So let's get right into it. We are going to talk about NFL draft and the top QBs. One big note that happened this week is that the Houston Texans traded the Buffalo Bills for Stephon Diggs. So Stephon Diggs is now a Houston Texan to go with C.J. Stroud. That is going to make that team even bigger and better than they were last year. Last year they made the playoffs with C.J. Stroud and a couple of little receivers. Add Stephon Diggs to that mix, and you're looking at a definite playoff team again this year and a possible contender for the Super Bowl. That's going to be great. So let's talk about the NFL draft. We got the top QBs that are coming out of college this year. Where will they end up, and who are they? Let's talk about it now. Alright, so here's the top 10 quarterbacks coming out of college. Number 10 on this list is Austin Reed out of Western Kentucky. He is ranked 151. Let's see, number 9 in the QBs is Jordan Travis from Florida State. He's got a PFF Big Board rank of 132. He's considered a good athlete, a tough competitor, and a QB who always has great intangibles and out-of-structure plays. His follow-through fundamentals are a mess, likely due to him needing more power on most throws, which leads to inconsistencies. He's a developmental quarterback who will be a fan favorite no matter where he goes, likely on day 3. Number 8, Michael Pratt from Tulane. Pratt's clean fundamentals and impressive touch throws make him an intriguing quarterback, even with smaller measurables. His arm strength limits his ability to push the ball vertically, but he has a good enough feel for the game to garner a potential starter label. Let's see. He is a PFF Big Board rank of 89. Let's see, QB Spencer Rattler out of South Carolina with a PFF Big Board rank of 70. Rattler has a mature game with fundamentals and pocket presence, in addition to good accuracy in and out of structure. His arm is adequate, but he needs to continue to improve at seeing additional coverage, defenders post-snap. He projects as a day 2 QB with starting potential. Let's see, number 6, Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington with a PFF Big Board rank of 46. Penix Jr. has NFL-level arm talent in addition to 2 years of good health and top-tier production in the spread-out shotgun offense. However, to become a consistent starter and top 15 QB in the league, he will need to clean up his footwork, throw with more anticipation and touch, which will improve ball placement, as well as being willing to attack the middle of the field. At number 5, we've got Bo Nix out of Oregon. Nix's experience manifests in the form of pre-snap reads, play under pressure, and avoid negatives. His footwork needs to be more disciplined, and he will take some time to really read progressions better in the NFL. But he is a QB with starting caliber tools in his arms and his legs with added out-of-structure playmaking. He has a PFF Big Board ranking of 33. Let's see, quarterback J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan, my boy, PFF Big Board ranking of 28, which means they're projecting him to go in the first round. McCarthy is not a finished project, but he is a growing quarterback with experience in a pro-style offense and good tools, physical and mental, to be a starting QB in the NFL. I believe he is going to go in the top either 10 or 15, depending on who drafts or who trades up in the draft, or if they just wait and see if he falls later. Number 3 is QB Jaden Daniels out of LSU. With a PFF Big Board rank of 22, Daniels' rushing ability and fundamentals give him a high floor as a player who can put a ton of stress on a defense. His arm talent is good enough to give him a decently high ceiling and makes him worthy of a first-round bet to make. So I feel Jaden Daniels. I'll tell you where I think some of these quarterbacks are going to end up, at least a few big ones. Number 2 is QB Drake May out of North Carolina with a PFF Big Board rank of 3. May's arm talent alone puts him in the first round and top 10 conversation, though his ball placement and decision making, including sacks taken, need improvement. He has all the talent tools you want to bet on as a franchise QB. And number 1, of course, USC's Caleb Williams, PFF Big Board rank of number 1. Williams is an incredibly talented player with natural gifts even other previous QB1s do not have. His issues are more from a lack of consistency than ability in any area. This is a QB with franchise-changing talent that is worthy of a number 1 overall selection. So, here we go. I believe that Caleb Williams goes to the Bears. I don't think they shock the world and trade the number 1 pick. So I do believe that he goes number 1. Drake May, I believe, is going 3. I think he's going to go to New England. I think they're going to take Drake May. They have a history. No, don't want to say this, but I'm going to have to. They have a history of taking the white guy. So, I mean, he fits in the mold of Mac Jones and the mold of Tom Brady. So I believe that, yes, they will take him. Jaden Daniels of LSU, he goes number 2. He's going to Washington if the Bears don't take him and leave Washington with Caleb Williams. J.J. McCarthy, I believe if the Vikings or the Broncos really want him, they will trade up into the top 5 and get him. Possibly even taking that number 4 spot from the Cardinals or the number 5 or 6. But I don't think the Chargers will trade. I think that, if anything, they'll either trade with New York or they're going to trade with Arizona. But yeah, I see J.J. McCarthy either playing for Denver or Minnesota next year. Bo Nix out of Oregon. It's hard to say where I see him going. And the same thing with Michael Penix Jr. because it depends on what team needs a quarterback. And they're not necessarily going to be starters right off the bat, so any team could really take them, I think, in the 2nd or 3rd round. I don't think Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. go 1st round. I think they go probably 2nd round. That's my take on it. And everybody else, like Spencer Rattler, Michael Pratt, Jordan Travis, and Austin Reed, I think they go past the 3rd round. I think they're just going to be backup quarterbacks in the league when they first start. Alright, so that is it with football talk. Next week I am going to go over the top receivers in the draft, the top 10 receivers, and tell you where I think a lot of them are going to end up. Will the Bears end up getting a receiver, or will they go somewhere else? We'll see. And then the week of the draft, which is the following week, we'll be talking just in general about the top 30 players and who I think they'll end up with in that. So we'll talk about that. Let's go over the Major League Baseball. This is the first week of baseball. It's officially in the books. They started last Thursday with the first game. And it's been crazy. We've already had some cancellations due to weather, which is something that I've been saying for decades of watching baseball, is that I feel that baseball should start in May and for the regular season, and April for spring training, and just cut the season down a little bit. I don't think you need 162 games of baseball. I think you can get away with, 20 or 30 games less and have quality over quantity. I feel that if you have sports in April, like that outdoors, you're taking a risk of bad weather, especially in the Midwest. So if you're going to do that, at least maybe make a lot of your games, like more in the warm cities than in the colder cities. And that way, I know there's got to be ways to do this in baseball if they really wanted to. They just never do. But yeah, I mean, there's already been cancellations due to weather with the rain and the snow and cold, and it's just, I get it. You play in baseball in October and November. That's fine, because it's not like usually 30 degrees yet. It's not 30 degrees, 35 degrees, and snow in October. You can have days like that, but it's rare. So yeah, I believe that they need to stop this and just, cut the season down. So far, right now, you've got no teams undefeated. There's no teams that have no losses right now. Oh wait, I'm wrong. The Tigers are 4-0. But other than that, right now, in the American League East, you got the Yankees at 6-1 at first place. You've got the Red Sox at 5-2, the Orioles at 4-2, the Blue Jays at 3-4, and the Devil Rays at 3-4. In the American League Central, you got the Tigers at 4-0. You've got the Guardians at 5-2. You've got the Minnesota Twins at 3-2. Kansas City Royals at 2-4, and the Chicago White Sox, who finally got their first win, are 1-4. In the American League West, you've got the Rangers at 4-2 with the Angels at 4-2 also. You got the Mariners at 3-4, the Astros at 2-5, and the Athletics at 1-6. So far, there's no teams. There's only one team that's undefeated, and only one team that has no wins right now, and that's in this league. In the National League East, you got the Braves at 3-2, Nationals at 2-3. Phillies 2-4, the Mets are 0-4, and the Marlins are 0-7. So two in that division have no wins. In the National League Central, you got the Pirates at 5-1, Brewers at 4-1, Cubs at 4-2, the Reds at 4-2, and the Cardinals at 3-4. And then in the National League West, you got the Dodgers at 7-2, the Diamondbacks at 4-3, Padres at 4-5. You got the Giants at 2-5, and the Rockies at 1-6. So, so far, I mean, not too bad. You got one undefeated team, and you've got two teams with no wins yet. So, I mean, obviously, the Cubs are doing pretty decent, 4-2. That's a good start with 6 games, and the White Sox have struggled, but all close games. They've been close in everything. So, I mean, even at 1-4, they did have their game yesterday canceled. And they're going to make it up with the Atlanta Braves in June. And then tonight, they'll be playing at 6:40 on Comcast Sportsnet. You'll be able to see the Sox play Kansas City. Hopefully, weather permitting. But it's been a pretty decent first week of baseball. So, what can you expect in April? It's hit or miss. You could have a really good time or you could have a really bad time. I want to talk really quick about the Chicago White Sox walk-up songs. They changed some of the songs around, and I have them, so here we go. The Chicago White Sox have created a playlist of walk-up songs that could be found. Here's a list of the 9 songs they have on the playlist. They have Lea Lagora by Mike Towers, Double Down by Cody Johnson, El Campeon by El Camico, Thief by OK, Vacation by the Dirty Heads, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by Wham, Simple Man rock version by Shinedown, Fight for Your Right by the Beastie Boys, and 10,000 Fists by Disturbed. So those are the new walk-up songs for the 2024 season for the Chicago White Sox. Pretty cool. Alright, so let's go into the NBA and NHL and look at the standings. We have some teams that have clinched some spots, some play-in spots. So let's talk. Alright, so with a couple of weeks left on the NBA season, the Western Conference, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves at 53-23 in first place. They are tied with the Denver Nuggets with the same record of 53-23 in second place, and they have clinched a playoff spot. Also clinching a playoff spot is the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are 52-24 in third place. The LA Clippers are 47-28. The Dallas Mavericks are 45-30. The Phoenix Suns are number 6 at 45-31. And here's the 4 play-in teams as of right now. The Pelicans at number 7 at 45 and 31. The Sacramento Kings are number 8 at 44 and 31. The LA Lakers are in the play-in tournament, but not fully yet. But they are in the 9th spot at 44 and 33. The Golden State Warriors at number 10 at 41 and 34. So those will be your play-in teams. The Rockets still have a chance at the play-in at 38 and 37. But eliminated, it looks like right now, would be the Jazz at 29 and 47, the Grizzlies at 26 and 50, the Trailblazers at 20 and 56, and the San Antonio Spurs at 18 and 58. So those are your teams in the West. In the East, the Boston Celtics have clinched the conference already at 60 and 16. They have 60 wins already. And as you can see, that's 76 games in, which means you're only, there's 82 games, so 6 games left on the season for them. The Milwaukee Bucks are 47 and 29, coming in at number 2. Cleveland Cavaliers are 46 and 31. The Orlando Magic are 45 and 31 at number 4. Number 5 is the New York Knicks at 44 and 31. Then Miami Heat, number 6 at 42 and 33. Right now, the Pacers, here's the play-in tournament teams. The Pacers are at 43 and 34 in the 7th spot. The Philadelphia 76ers, 41 and 35 at number 8. The Chicago Bulls are 36 and 40 at number 9, as are the Atlanta Hawks at number 10 with 36 and 40. Bulls have officially clinched the play-in tournament spot, and so have the Atlanta Hawks. The Nets are eliminated at 30 and 47, Raptors at 23 and 53, the Hornets at 18 and 58, Wizards at 15 and 62, and the Pistons are 13 and 63. So the 2 worst teams in the East, the worst record in the entire NBA right now would be the Detroit Pistons, and the Washington Wizards would be the second worst, and then the Hornets are 18 wins, and so are the San Antonio Spurs. So there's your top 4 worst teams in the NBA right now. So there you go. We have about, 6 games left on the season. The last day of the regular season for the NBA will be Sunday, April 14th. So a week from this week is the last game of the season for all the teams. So there you go. Play-in tournament will be starting after that. Let's see when the playoffs are going to start. Let's see. Let's read this really quick. Final day of the regular season. The play-in tournament, of course, we'll go over the rules of that next week, given that it's the last season. But April 16th through the 19th is the play-in tournament. So we'll go over all the rules of it next week, and we'll see, with a few days left, who's pretty much clinched everything by that point. So we'll go over that next week. Let's go into the NHL now. All right, so the NHL season is set to end on April 18th, which is, I believe, the Tuesday after the NBA ends. So yeah, this is what it looks like so far in the Eastern Conference. Here's the teams and where they're standing. The New York Rangers are first place. They clinched a playoff spot at 51, 21, and 4 with 106 points. The Boston Bruins are 44 and 17 and 15 with 103 points. And number 3 is Carolina, and they clinched a playoff spot at number 3 at 47, 21, and 7 with 101 points. Florida is number 4, and they clinched a playoff spot at 47, 24, and 5 with 99 points. Toronto comes in at number 5. They haven't clinched a spot yet, but they're 43, 23, and 9 with 95 points. Tampa Bay would be number 6, 42, 26, and 7 with 91 points. Number 7 would be Philadelphia Flyers at 36, 29, and 11 with 83 points. And number 8 right now would be Washington at 36, 28, and 10 at 82 points. Still in right now is Detroit at 37-30-8 with 82 points. The New York Islanders at 33-27-15 with 81 points. Pittsburgh Penguins at 34-30-11 with 79 points. Buffalo at 36-35-5 with 77 points. New Jersey at 36-36-4 with 76 points. Ottawa at 33-37-4 with 70 points, and Montreal at 29-33-12 with 70 points. Eliminated is the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are 25-38-12 with 62 points in the East. So only one team in the East has been eliminated. But get this, there's already been 5 teams in the West that are eliminated. So that's how crazy the Eastern Conference is in the NHL. Just like the NBA, a lot of their teams are above 500 and in playoff contention still. So in the NBA, it's the West. In NHL, it's the East. Here's the Western Conference standings. Right now, number 1 is Dallas. They clinched a spot at 48-19-9 with 105 points. Number 2 is Vancouver, who clinched a playoff spot at 47-21-8, and they have 102 points. Colorado Avalanche has clinched a playoff spot at 3 at 47-22-6 at 100 points. Winnipeg is number 4 at 45-24-6 at 96 points. Let's see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5 would be Edmonton at 45-24-5 at 95 points. The Vegas Golden Knights would be number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, number 6 at 42-25-8 with 92 points. Number 7 is Nashville at 43-28-4 with 90 points. And number 8 would be the LA Kings, 39-25-11 at 89 points. Still in it is St. Louis at 40-31-4 with 84 points. Minnesota is still in it with 36-28-10 with 81 points. Seattle Kraken was eliminated from playoff contention at 31-31-13 with 75 points. Calgary, it doesn't show eliminated, but they have less points than Seattle, so I'm pretty sure they're eliminated too. They just don't show it here at 34-35-5 with 73 points. The Arizona, they are out. They are eliminated at 31-39-5 with 67 points. Anaheim is out with 54 points. They're 25-47-4. The Chicago Blackhawks are eliminated at 22-40-5 with 49 points. And then the worst team... Is it the worst team? Yeah. Worst team in the league is the San Jose Sharks. 17-49-8 with 42 points. They are the worst. And the Blackhawks are the second worst. So the Blackhawks will get another, hopefully, Connor Bedard to go with the Kane and Taves connection like they've had before. So we'll see what happens with that. So yeah. Now, here we go. The big story of sports for the weekend. WWE WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia this weekend. Everybody knows the final card's been made. This is what we got. Let's go into it. Let's do our predictions. Saturday and Sunday have already been set with the match cards. There could be a match added at SmackDown this Friday. Who knows? That happens. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal will be on Friday. So it'll be all the leftovers who didn't make it are going to be there. But let's go over the match card for both nights and see who I think is going to win all the matches. Let's go over it. Alright, so let's kick it off on night 1. Here's the night 1 matches that we have. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. I believe that we are going to see Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee win this. Obviously, the big comeback of Rey. I think that we could see Carlito interfere on behalf of Dominic and Santos. But I am still going with Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee in this one. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. I think Rikishi's going to get involved. I think he's going to be there. But I believe that it's going to be Jey Uso at the end. I think that Jimmy's been messing with him enough where he's going to get his rub and he's going to win that match. The 6 women tag match, Damage Control versus Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. I feel that this one is going all to be Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. I think Jade Cargill, with her first big actual in-ring match, not the Royal Rumble, but an actual match, I think she's going to win it and get her WrestleMania moment right away off the bat, and I think she wins that. The 6-pack undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship ladder match. This is going to be crazy. So, here's the people in this match. We are going to have the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth versus DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus the New Day versus New Catch Republic versus A-Town Down Under. This match is going to be crazy because I think we are going to be finally splitting the tag team titles up. So we are going to have 2 winners as opposed to 1. They haven't announced this yet, but it's aiming this way. It's been rumored, so we'll see if it happens. If it happens, I believe that the Judgment Day loses both sets of titles, which will lead to a possible mess up with obviously Finn Balor and Damian Priest. But here's what I feel is going to happen. Awesome Truth is going to win 1 set of them, and then I'm going to go with DIY. I think they're going to win the other set. If it's just 1, I think it's going to be Awesome Truth. If they do keep the titles on both. So that's what I think will happen there. The Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus Sami Zayn, with Gunther walking in as champion. I don't feel like he's going to lose it yet, and I don't think it's going to be to Sami Zayn. So I believe that Gunther will walk out of WrestleMania still the Intercontinental Champion. The Women's World Championship match, Rhea Ripley champion versus Becky Lynch. I see this going to Rhea Ripley. I don't think she's going to lose yet. I don't think they're ready for her to lose yet, and I think she holds onto the title for a little while longer. And then, of course, the big main event of the night. If Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins win, it's going to be a clean match for Cody. If The Rock wins and Roman Reigns wins this tag match, it's going to be Bloodline Rules. I think everybody knows where this is going, and I've said it from the start. This is going to be The Rock and Roman Reigns beating Cody and Seth because it will be Bloodline Rules at WrestleMania in night 2. They're not going to have a clean match. That's boring. Who wants that at WrestleMania? Nobody wants a 100% clean match where there's no interference on either side. So yes, I believe that we are going to see The Rock and Roman Reigns win night 1 in the tag team match. Now, let's go into night 2. The matches for that night, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins versus the Final Testament, Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain. This one, I believe, will go to Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I don't think Karrion Kross is going to win this. I think Bobby Lashley is tough, and he's big, and he's going to win. I think it's going to be entertaining but boring at the same time. It could be a sleeper match, but I doubt it. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I'm going with LA Knight in this one. Of course, LA Knight has more to gain in this than AJ Styles does. AJ Styles has done everything. He's, and I'm not going to say he's like the older dog here because both have been wrestling for a long time and they're around the same age. But the point is, I think LA Knight has more to gain off of this match than AJ Styles does. AJ Styles has done way more in his career, and he doesn't really need this. So LA Knight, yeah, with the win. Let's see, the United States Championship triple threat match, Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. I think Logan Paul walks out the champion, and I think that Kevin Owens takes the pin. That way Randy Orton still looks big and bad. That'll lead to eventually, I think, Logan Paul and Randy Orton in a one-on-one match. Let's see, WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky champion versus Bayley. I see Bayley walking out as the champion. Both women's titles are not changing hands. That's not going to happen. So I believe that Rhea Ripley keeps hers, and I think that Bayley is going to get her rub finally, which she deserves it. I love Bayley. The World Heavyweight Championship match, I believe Seth Rollins, champion versus Drew McIntyre, is going to kick off night 2. Obviously, for the reason that the last championship match is going to be the big one. I think Seth Rollins loses to Drew McIntyre. I believe there's going to be outside interference in some way from CM Punk on both players' behalves, but I really believe that The Rock is going to come out and make good on his promise of he can do whatever he wants. And he's going to come out and he's going to cost Seth Rollins the championship. So get ready for that. And then, of course, the big one. Will Cody Rhodes finish the story? It's going to be Roman Reigns champion versus Cody Rhodes. Bloodline rules. I believe that you are going to see a cluster of just craziness in this match. I think we see John Cena come back. I think we see Stone Cold come back. I think that we're going to see interference from Jay and Jimmy and Solo, possibly Paul Heyman, maybe Brock Lesnar. It's going to be a crazy, crazy finish, but Cody finishes his story. The Rock gets mad at the end at Roman Reigns for not being able to beat Cody Rhodes with all that help, and The Rock turns on him, and that's going to eventually lead to it. I don't know if necessarily The Rock is going to turn on Roman to cost him the title. I think he's going to turn on him for losing his title. I think Cody is going to win this in a big way. It's going to be an amazing 2 days. I cannot wait. I think everybody's excited. Pre-show is going to start at 4 o'clock Central Time with the match card, I believe. 5 o'clock Central Time. So that's 6 o'clock Eastern Time. And then it's going to be a 2-hour pre-show. And then, of course, the main card. They haven't announced any matches for the pre-show yet. And usually night one, they don't have any matches on the pre-show because of the fact that they don't want to give out the set right away. So they usually wait and then they do it later. But we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a fun 2 nights. Star-studded. Obviously the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm going to talk about that really quick too. Who's getting in? That's tomorrow night on Friday night. So make sure you check that out. Here's the inductees into the 2024 Hall of Fame that you're going to see coming up this Friday. So, of course, the headliner is going to be Paul Heyman. He's going to be inducted by Roman Reigns. Bull Nakano is going to be put in the Hall of Fame, and Alundra Blaze and Medusa are going to put Bull Nakano in. Thunderbolt Patterson is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Scott Spears will be the inductee. And then Leah Maivia, The Rock's grandmother, will be put in to the Hall of Fame, and The Rock will induct her into that. And then as a group, the U.S. Express will be put in to it. They're a 2-time WWF Tag Team Champion. They will be inducted by to be announced. They have not announced who's going to induct them yet. So it's going to be a great weekend. It all starts out tomorrow with SmackDown. If you're in the Philadelphia area listening to this right now, they've got a bunch of stuff going on all week and all weekend and all the way into Monday night when Raw is going to be there. So, make sure you check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so we are done with the sports segment of the show. Now we're going to go into the entertainment section. And we got some fun stuff to talk about, so let's get going with that. As everybody heard by now, singer Lizzo has decided to quit music. This could change, but here is the statement that she did. I'm tired of putting up with being dragged by everyone in my life and on the internet. All I want is to make music and make people happy and help the world be a little better than how I found it. But I'm starting to feel like the world doesn't want me in it. I'm constantly up against lies being told about me for clout and views. Being the brunt of it, of every joke, every single time because of how I look. My character being picked apart by people who don't know me and disrespecting my name. I didn't sign up for this. I quit with a peace sign. I've seen the reports on how she treats her dancers. Whether or not that's true, we don't really know. But everybody just assumes that it is. And I feel like she should stay in music and do it. That's her art. and whether people like it or not, that is what she does. You don't have to like every artist. I don't like every artist. But I don't want them to go away just because I don't like them. I believe that she is a good singer. Is she a good person? We don't know. Like, personally, we don't know her like that. She has had stuff happen with her dancers that wasn't flattering, but like I said, we weren't there either. So we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. So it's hard for us as people to say, yeah, I don't like Lizzo because of this, because we don't know what she did. But I really hope that she comes back eventually. I think she will. I think she'll do another album eventually down the road. I think she's made enough money to take a break for a while, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of what people do. But we'll see what happens. But Lizzo, I love your music. I want you to come back when you're ready and take that time, maybe get past all the stuff that's been going on, and then come back. We'll see what happens. Last week at the box office, here's what happened with the top 10 movies. Did Ghostbusters stay number one? What did Godzilla and Kong do? We'll find out right now. So here we go. The top 10 last week at the theater. Number 10 was Imaginary. Weekend gross was 1.4 million. Total gross was 27 million, and it's been out for 4 weeks. The movie Crew, in its first week, did 1.5 million total. That's really bad. 1.5 million in your first weekend is not good. Obviously, that might not have been in that many theaters, or it just wasn't that good of a movie. Let's see. Number 8 was Till You Square. That was its first week at the box office. It did 1.9 million. Late Night with the Devil came in at number 7. It did 2.2 million in that weekend, and it's done 6.3 million in 2 weeks. These movies are not making a lot. Arthur the King, weekend gross was 2.5 million. Total gross is 20 million in 3 weeks. Immaculate, the weekend gross for that movie was 3.3 million. Total gross 12 million in 2 weeks. Kung Fu Panda 4 came in at number 4. It did 10 million last weekend, and it's done a total of 155 million in 4 weeks. So we can see the difference between some of these movies and what it's making. Number 3 was Dune Part 2. It did 11 million last weekend, and a total gross of 255 million in 5 weeks. That's crazy. Number 2 was the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It did 16 million last weekend, a total gross of 77 million in 2 weeks. And then Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire, did 80 million in its first week, but total of 95 million gross. So, wow. Nice start for Kong and Godzilla. I know some people who saw it. They said it was a good movie. It was decent. So, I'll see it, but I'll wait till it comes on HBO to watch it, because I don't watch movies like that at the theater. So I'll see it when it comes out, and we'll see if it's as good as people said it was. So let's go into the Iheart Radio Music Awards. We've been hyping that up for a few weeks, and now we finally found out who all the winners were. That's right. So here we go. The Innovator Award went to Beyonce. The Icon Award went to Cher. She definitely deserves that. And the Landmark Award went to Green Day. That's my favorite group. Song of the Year was Kill Bill by SZA. Artist of the Year was Taylor Swift. Duo Group of the Year went to One Republic. Best Collaboration went Calm Down by Rema and Selena Gomez. Best New Artist was Jelly Roll. Gotta love Jelly Roll. Pop Song of the Year, this is a new category for 2024, went to Miley Cyrus for Flowers. Pop Artist of the Year, a new award for 2024, went to Taylor Swift. Pop Album of the Year went to Olivia Rodrigo for Guts. Country Song of the Year went to Lainey Wilson for Heart Like a Truck. Country Album of the Year went to Morgan Wallen for One Thing at a Time. The Country Artist of the Year was Morgan Wallen. Best New Artist for Country was Jelly Roll. Hip Hop Song of the Year went to Lil Durk featuring J. Cole for All My Life. Good job by Little Dirk. Funny story. My grandson used to go to school last year. He goes to a new school now, but he went to school with Little Dirk's kids, so that's kind of cool. Because Little Dirk is from Joliet, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see. Hip Hop Album of the Year went to Metro Boomin for Heroes and Villains. Hip Hop Artist of the Year went to Drake. Best New Artist Hip Hop went to Ice Spice. The R&B Song of the Year was Snooze by SZA. R&B Album of the Year went to SZA for SOS. And SZA was also R&B Artist of the Year. Best New Artist for R&B was Victoria Monet. Best African Music Artist went to Burna Boy. Alternative Song of the Year was Blink-182 for One More Time. I love that song. Amazing. Just shows that longevity can still beat out new artists, and it's great. Alternative Album of the Year went to Boy Genius for The Record. Alternative Artist of the Year was Fall Out Boy. Best New Artist for Alternative and Rock went to Noah Kahan. Rock Song of the Year was Lost by Linkin Park. Again, longevity. Rock Album of the Year, Metallica with 72 Seasons. They also won a Grammy for that, which is amazing because I've listened to almost the whole album. I haven't gone through all of it yet, but Metallica is just awesome no matter what. Rock Artist of the Year went to the Foo Fighters. Dance Song of the Year went to Kenya Grace with Strangers. Dance Artist of the Year went to Tiesto. Latin Pop Urban Song of the Year went to Shakira for Berserk Music Sessions Volume 53. Winner was Shakira and Berserk. Latin Pop Urban Album of the Year went to Karol G. I'm not going to even say her. I think it's Mañana Será Bonito. Yeah, that's how you say it. And Latin Pop Artist of the Year was Karol G also. Best New Artist in Latin Pop was Young Maiko. Regional Mexican Song of the Year was El Bella Sola by Estebelo Armando and Peso Pluma. Regional Mexican Album of the Year was Genesis by Peso Pluma. Regional Mexican Artist of the Year went to Peso Pluma. And Best New Artist in Regional Mexican is Peso Pluma. K-Pop Artist of the Year, new for 2024, went to Jungkook. K-Pop Song of the Year, new for 2024, was Cupid Twin Version by 50/50. K-Pop Album of the Year went to the Stray Kids for 5-star. And Best New Artist for K-Pop, a new award, went to the New Jeans. They were the winners. Producer of the Year went to Jack Antonoff. Songwriter of the Year went to Ashley Gorley. Best Lyrics, socially voted category, went to Is It Over Now, Taylor's Version by Taylor Swift. Best Music Video, socially voted category, went to 7 by Jungkook versus featuring Lotto. Best Fan Army, socially voted category, went to BTS Army. They beat out Bayhive for the Beyoncés, beat out Swifties and all of them. So that's awesome. Let's see. Social Award, Star Award, socially voted category went to Gracie Abrams. Favorite tour photographer, this was socially voted category, went to Joshua Halig for Lewis Tomlinson. Favorite on-screen, socially voted category, new for 2024, went to J-Hope in the Box. TikTok Bop of the Year, this is a socially voted category, was Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift. She beat out a lot of good ones too from TikTok. A lot of them were on there. Favorite tour style, socially voted category, went to Taylor Swift. Of course, she had $1 billion freaking tour. And favorite debut album, new for 2024, was voted socially, went to Layover by V. So that's all the categories. That is amazing. There are a lot of good ones, a lot of good stars won. Hope everybody enjoyed the iHeartRadio Music Awards. If you watched it, it was on the Fox Network, and I believe it's still on Hulu. You can watch it too if you missed it. So go check that out on Hulu. But yeah, so let's get into our next category. All right, so the Illinois State Fair has added acts to their 2024 lineup, and here's who's going to be there so far. Now, obviously, there's going to be more acts added, but right now they've got Keith Urban with Mackenzie Porter. That'll be Friday, August 9th, 2024 at 8 p.m. Motley Crue will be there Saturday, August 10th, 2024 at 8 p.m. Jason Isbell and the 400 unit with Ashley McBride will be there Sunday, August 11th at 8 p.m. Jordan Davis with Ashley Cook will be there Tuesday, August 13th at 8 p.m. The Jonas Brothers have been announced for Thursday, August 15th, 2024 at 8 p.m. And just added is the Smashing Pumpkins with Privis, and they'll be there Friday, August 16th at 8 p.m. Also, Miranda Lambert with Gavin Adcock will be at the State Fair Saturday, August 17th, 2024 at 8 p.m. Those are the major acts for those nights. There's going to be other acts too that are going to be there, but yeah, so there's going to be more dates added, more big bands added, but that's a pretty decent start for the Illinois State Fair this August. So you can get your tickets soon. It says that also the prices of the tickets don't include your admission to get into the state fair, so there's going to be more. But yeah, so check it out. They're going to be adding more as we go, and we'll see who else is going to be there. Let's go into our next category that we're going to talk about. You know, when people do like a top 10 list, you usually do the top 10 best of. And I found this list, and since we do talk about movies, I found the top 10 list of worst movies ever made. So here's that, and see if you agree. These might have been movies you've seen. If you haven't seen them, maybe you'll watch it just to say, yeah, this movie was really bad. You know, sometimes people have time to waste and they're like, yeah, I'll check it out. So here we go. Number 10, Jaws: The Revenge came in number 10. I don't think I've ever seen that one. So it came out in July 17th of 1987. Runtime 89 minutes. You can watch it on, I think it's on Netflix. Number 9, The Last Days of American Crime. It's the interminably long comic book adaptation, briefly trended on Netflix, and that's exactly where its accomplishments end. So you can watch that one. Let's see, number 8. Number 8 is from 2003. It's National Lampoon's Gold Digger. I've heard of a lot of National Lampoon's movies. I've never seen or heard of this one. It's crazy. It says, sounds like a decent enough premise for a vulgar, unassuming, lowbrow good time, right? Here's the problem. Gold Diggers is PG-13. Thus, it does nothing with its premise, not even a cheap, sleazy joke fans might expect from such a vulgar premise. So yeah, go check that one out. It says you can buy it on Amazon Prime. I definitely wouldn't be buying that. Let's see. 2004, number 7, Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. Never knew they made a sequel to that, and probably would never want to see that. Number 6 was Pinocchio from 2002 by director Roberto Benigni. Yeah, not a big fan of that. Wouldn't see that one either. Number 5 was Gotti, and that came out in 2018. That's where John Travolta played John Gotti. Never really had a problem with that movie. So I think, I don't necessarily think that should be on this list, but I guess they thought that was worst. Story of crime boss John Gotti and his son came out June 14th of 2018. Cast was John Travolta, Kelly Preston, Stacy Keach. Pretty good actors and actresses in that movie. Number 4 worst movie, 1,000 Words. I've seen this movie. It wasn't great, but I don't think it was the worst Eddie Murphy movie. But yeah, it wasn't that good. But it was about a guy he was a big talker. And they told him he can only have 10,000 words left. So he had to watch what he said. And he was trying not to say anything. Yeah, so I definitely see it if you want to see if it's a worse movie, but it wasn't that great. It came out March 7th of 2012. Eddie Murphy was in it, Kerry Washington, and a bunch of other people. Left Behind from 2014 came in number 3. It's with Nicolas Cage. Never saw that one. It came out October 3rd of 2014. Let's see. Number 2 was One Missed Call. I actually like this movie. So I don't know why it's on this list of worst movies. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. It's supposed to be a horror movie. And I don't understand why this movie was on there. It says it's The Ring meets Final Destination. And then the number 1 worst movie of all time came out in 2002. It's called Ballistic, X vs. Seaver. Never seen it, and I don't think I want to. It says Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu were in it. Good actors, but yeah. So definitely check that out if you want to see some of the worst movies and see if you would rank them on your list. If you got time, go check them out. So next week, I found another list off of that one, and we're going to do that one next week. It is the top 10 movies that bombed at the theater but became cult classics. So we'll do that one next week. But right now we are going to rank all 45 of Adam Sandler's movies really quick that he's been in and see where they rank. This is a ranking of all his movies starting from 45 to 1. So let's go through them. Number 45, The Ridiculous Six. It was Adam Sandler, Terry Crews, and Jorge Garcia. His role was Tommy White Knife Stockburn. It had a Rotten Tomato score of 0%. It says if you're a fan of Westerns but wish they had more casual racism, then here's a movie for you. The rest of us will pass. Number 44, Jack and Jill. Rotten Tomato score of 3%. He played Jack and Jill Saddleston. He played his brother, the brother and the sister. It was kind of funny, but definitely not even one of his top 20 best movies that I've seen. And I've seen like almost every movie he's done. So yeah, let's go on with that. So number 43, Zookeeper with Kevin James. He played Donald the Chumpin' Monkey. Rotten Tomato score of 14%. Night at the Museum, but with a zoo. And Adam Sandler is a monkey. Let's see. Number 42, The Do-Over with Adam Sandler and David Spade. A Rotten Tomato score of 9%. He played Max Kessler. They need a do-over on the do-over to try to make a good movie. And this crappy pun is funnier than this entire film. I've never seen that one. Let's see. Number 41 is Mixed Nuts with Steve Martin. He played Louie in the movie. Rotten Tomato score of 13%. This deserves to be on here mostly because Adam Sandler is also in the worst Steve Martin movie and the worst Nora Ephron film movie ever. Number 40 is Going Overboard, where he played Schnicky Mustowitz. Rotten Tomatoes score of 11%. Adam Sandler's first starring role in a movie. What happens when you get trapped on a cruise ship with Adam Sandler? Let's see. 39 was Shakes the Clown. His role was Dink the Clown. A Rotten Tomatoes score of 43%. This is obviously not an Adam Sandler film, but rather a Bobcat Goldthwait film, which perhaps is an equally dubious description. Let's see. Number 38, Grown Ups 2. He played Leonard Lenny Feder. Rotten Tomatoes score 8%. Sometimes Adam Sandler just wants to take a long vacation with a few old comedy friends and get paid millions for it. This was another one of those times. Now, I love Grown Ups 2. I think that's the better of the two, just because I like them on their little vacation together. It was pretty cool. Number 37 is The Animal, which was actually a Rob Schneider film, but he played in the movie, he played Townie. Had a Rotten Tomatoes score of 30%. Adam Sandler, hanger on Rob Schneider, fronts this pretty dumb movie in which he receives animal organ transplants after a car accident. He brought along a buddy, Sandler, for a ride, giving him a tiny but credited cameo. Let's see, number 36, he was in the movie Coneheads. He played Carmen Wiener, a Rotten Tomatoes score of 35%. You can't deny that Carmen Wiener is a very Adam Sandler character name. Let's see, number 35 was Pixels. I thought this was a decent movie. I liked it. He played Sam Brenner with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 18%. Why make a movie about video game nostalgia but make all the beloved video game characters bad guys? Also, Peter Dinklage's wig is a sin. He pretty much had a mullet. Number 34 is the movie Blended with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. Rotten Tomatoes score of 15%. Here's 50 First Dates in Africa. Pretty much the same thing. Number 33 was Bulletproof with Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler. He plays Archie Moses. Rotten Tomatoes score of 8%. There's actually a pretty great quote from the director Ernest Dickerson about this movie. There's a movie I did a couple years ago called Bulletproof. I'd like to just erase the whole experience. Yeah, it really wasn't a good movie. Let's see, number 32 is The Cobbler with Adam Sandler. It is, he played Max Simkin, a Rotten Tomatoes score of 10%. This is not, in fact, about the popular dessert, but rather about a shoemaker who magically transforms into people when he puts on their footwear. This allows Sandler to get into a number of problematic situations, including becoming one of his neighbors, so he can creep on the man's attractive girlfriend. Yeah, not a good one. Number 31 was the original Grown Ups movie. Again, he played Lenny Fetter, 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Sometimes Adam Sandler just wants to take a long vacation with a few old comedy friends and get paid millions. This is one of those times. They repeated that again. Number 30 is Bedtime Stories. It's a Disney movie. It says he played Skeeter Bronson, 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. Sandler takes a swing at a family comedy in a Happy Madison Disney co-production. Despite bad reviews, the film went on to make a fortune and expose children to Russell Brand. That doesn't sound nice. Let's see. The Week Of came in at number 29. It's Adam Sandler with Chris Rock. Role is Kenny Lusting. Rotten Tomatoes score 26%. If you've ever been in a wedding, you know that the long week or planning before the ceremony is only worth it because there will be open bar at the end of the whole thing. You can drink while you watch this one, but you'll have to pay for your own booze. Number 28, I love this movie. I think it should have been up higher than this. It should have been in the top 10 for me. Is Just Go With It. Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. He plays Dr. Daniel Leroy Danny Maccabee III, 19% on Rotten Tomatoes. Another in the long line of rom-coms Sandler made, this time with Jennifer Aniston, but this one has an added bonus of Academy Award winner Nicole Kidman. Seriously. Let's see, number 27, That's My Boy. Love this movie with Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg. He plays Donnie Burger. Donnie freaking Burger, 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. Sandler pairs with Andy Samberg in this multi-generational comic mess, which we hope taught Samberg not to follow in the footsteps of his fellow SNL alum. Number 26, Little Nicky. It's a funny movie. He plays Nicky in it, 21% on Rotten Tomatoes. The first of Sandler's box office failures. This one features him as the son of the devil, with a speech impediment and Kris Jenner's haircut. Number 25, how can this not be top 10? Come on. Mr. Deeds, with Adam Sandler and Winona Ryder. He plays Mr. Longfellow Deeds, 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is a remake of a 1936 Frank Capra film that was twice nominated for AFI's Top 100 list, in the same way that Chet Hayes is a remake of Tom Hanks. Number 24 is You Don't Mess with the Zohan. He played Zohan Dwiver and Scrappy Coco. Rotten Tomatoes score of 37%. The most interesting thing about this movie is that Sandler actually got sued by the writer, who said Zohan ripped off the idea to have a Navy SEAL turned hairdresser turned crime fighter with a blow dryer. Sandler was found to have not infringed on any copyright. Number 23 is Men, Woman, and Children. And he played Don Truby. Rotten Tomatoes score of 33%. Here's another one of these movies in which we're supposed to take Adam Sandler serious. It's a Jason Reitman movie, so it has some cachet, but you know it's also very hard to take Adam Sandler seriously. Number 22, Hotel Transylvania. He plays Count Dracula, 44% on Rotten Tomatoes. Basically, cartoon grown-ups in Transylvania. Number 21 is Hotel Transylvania 2, with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 55%. This is truly the Godfather Part 2 of animated Transylvanian monster movies, starring Adam Sandler. Number 20 is Sandy Wexler. Says his role as Sandy Wexler, Rotten Tomatoes score 27%. This is basically one entire inside joke about Sandler's real-life manager, Sandy Wernick, that approximately 0.000000001% of the world's population could possibly find funny. Number 19 was a Christmas movie, 8 Crazy Nights. He played Davy Stone, Whitey Duvall, Eleanor Duvall, and Deer. Rotten Tomatoes score of 13%, not even the best Hanukkah movie. Number 18 was The Longest Yard. He played Paul Crewe, 31% Rotten Tomatoes, another remake, this time of the 1974 Burt Reynolds comedy. Adam Sandler, you are definitely no Burt Reynolds. I like the movie, I think it would have been in my top 10. Let's see, Click came in at number 17. Role, Michael Newman. Rotten Tomatoes score 34%. This is probably one of Sandler's most depressing movies, as it takes an unexpectedly dark turn at the end. Fun fact, this is the only Sandler movie that's been nominated for an Oscar for Best Makeup. Number 16, Anger Management, with Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler. He played David Busnick, 42% at Rotten Tomatoes. Let's get one of today's biggest movie stars and one of Hollywood's living legends, and let's just let them yell at each other. Someone much healthier than we will ever be. Number 15, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, with him and Kevin James. He played Charles Chuck Levine, 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. If you're the kind of person who learned about tolerance and accepting the concept of gay marriage from an Adam Sandler joint, well, bless your heart. Number 14, this would have been in my top 10 also, was 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. He plays Henry Roth, 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Wedding Singer, but with amnesia instead of 80s clothing, pretty much. Reign Over Me came in at number 13. He plays Charles Charlie Levine, 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. Once every 10 movies, Sandler takes on a serious role, and while at points it dips into cliche, Sandler's performance is truly touching. The movie Airheads came in at number 12 with Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, and Adam Sandler. He played Pip. Rotten Tomatoes score 29%. The first of Sandler's big movie roles at the end of his SNL tenure, but before the formation of Happy Madison, when we were still wondering what kind of movie presence he'd be, little did we know. Number 11, Murder Mystery with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. He plays Nick Spitz. Rotten Tomatoes score of 44%. Netflix has been pretty good to Adam Sandler with his excellent stand-up special, 100% Fresh, and his performance in the Mechterick's Stories. And though this film has its problems, Netflix did pull off a pretty enjoyable Sandler rom-com with a whodunit twist. Plus, Jennifer Aniston is always a joy to watch. Number 10 is Spanglish. He plays John Klasky, 54% on Rotten Tomatoes. Sandler meets James L. Brooks, and it doesn't quite work. Number 9, The Waterboy, with Adam Sandler. He plays Robert Bobby Boucher Jr., 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not much more than a feature film adaptation of Sandler's Canteen Boy character from SNL, but with more football and less molestation by Alec Baldwin. Number 8 is Funny People. Role, George Simmons, 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not quite as funny as the title would suggest, but funnier than 90% of the movies on this list. It's Adam Sandler, Seth Rogen, and Leslie Mann. It says the third film from the writer-director of The 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up. Let's see. Number 7, Big Daddy. One of my favorites would be in my top 3. He plays Sonny Koufax, 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. Man-child Adam Sandler takes in a 5-year-old son he never knew about, learns valuable lessons, grows up. Probably we never saw it. Fun fact, one of the twins playing the kid is now Goth Jughead on Riverdale. Let's see, number 6, The Megawitz Story, New and Selected. He plays Danny Mayoritz. 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, earning a standing ovation at Cannes. Noah Baumbach's family comedy of manners is Sandler's best chance yet for an Oscar nomination, as a middle-aged son of domineering father Dustin Hoffman, who projects his failures as an artist onto his kids. Number 5, Punch Drunk Love. He plays Barry Egan, 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. Adam Sandler's best acting work, probably, but this is more of a Paul Thomas Anderson film than an Adam Sandler movie, no matter how great he is in it. Number 4, Billy Madison, of course, one of my favorites. He plays Billy Madison in the movie, 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. Adam Sandler's breakthrough performance sees him as a super rich man-child who somehow cons everyone into believing he's charming and endearing. Kind of makes you think, doesn't it? Number 3, this will be my number 1, Happy Gilmore. He plays Happy Gilmore, 61% Rotten Tomatoes score. If you're between the ages of 30 and 45, you have seen this movie at least a dozen times, and you have laughed at it. How do you feel about this as is your business? Number 2, Uncut Gems. Howard Ratner plays in the movie, Rotten Tomatoes score 91%. Never has Sandler disappeared into a role like this. I know that doesn't seem like it's saying much given his filmography, but watching Sandler sleaze around New York, making a string of shady deals, you'll forget completely who you're watching. From his physical mannerisms to his voice and goofy transition lenses, Sandler is unrecognizable in this tense and taut crime thriller. If only he'd done this his whole career. And number 1, one of my favorites. It would definitely be in my top 5. Playing Robbie Hart in The Wedding Singer. Rotten Tomatoes score of 69%. Come for the nostalgic gags, stay for the surprisingly sweet romantic comedy plot. It's probably the best you can get from Sandler's au revoir. We demand points for using Sandler's au revoir in a sentence. Thanks. Light on the gross out gags, heavy on the reminders that it takes place in the 1980s. So there you have it. Those are the 45 Adam Sandler movies ranked. Now there was a few that I saw that were missing, but that's okay. We're not gonna be mad at them for that. So now we're gonna do my top 10 list to end the show. I'm gonna do something different since it's WrestleMania weekend. This is not my top 10 list. This is just a top 10 list of the top 10 best WrestleManias of all time. This is not my top 10 best, but it's just the top 10 best altogether. So let's see the ranking of the 10 greatest WrestleManias, since it is WrestleMania weekend. Alright, so I'm not great with Roman numerals, so I'm going to try to figure this out as we go along. Number 10 was WrestleMania 14. There are rare events that one can point to a turning point in wrestling history, and here it was. After 2 years of getting roundly kicked by WCW in the Monday Night Wars, WWE announced to the worldwide audience it was fighting back. The show crowned Stone Cold Steve Austin as the leader of the Attitude Era. With his first championship, it positioned The Undertaker and Kane, D-Generation X, Sable, and The Rock as the stars of the company's future, and utilized star power of Mike Tyson. The match card was WWE Championship. Stone Cold defeated Shawn Michaels. Undertaker defeated Kane. A dumpster match for the tag team titles. Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie defeated the New Age Outlaws. The IC Championship, The Rock defeated Ken Shamrock via disqualification. Mixed tag team, Mark Miro and Sable defeated Goldust and Luna. And WWE European Champion, Triple H defeated Owen Hart. WWE Light Heavyweight Championship, Taka Matacha defeated Aguila. And LOD 2000 won a tag team battle royal. Let's see, number 9 was WrestleMania XXV3, so that's 28. WrestleMania 28. Once in a lifetime was a tagline applied to the generational showdown between The Rock and John Cena's main event. Match card was The Rock defeated John Cena. WWE Championship, CM Punk defeated Chris Jericho. Team Johnny, David Otunga, The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, and it says Mark Henry twice, defeated Team Teddy, Zack Ryder, Booker T, Kofi Kingston, The Ray Khali, R-Truth, and Santino Marella. Hell in a Cell match, Undertaker defeated Triple H. Kelly and Maria Menounos defeated Beth Phoenix and Eve Torres. Intercontinental Championship, The Big Show defeated Cody Rhodes. Kane defeated Randy Orton, and the World Heavyweight Championship, Sheamus defeated Daniel Bryan in less than 8 seconds. That was a great card. Number 8, WrestleMania 31. Seth Rollins rushed to the squared circle in the closing minutes and cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase and turned an unpopular Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match into an unforgettable triple threat. Match card, triple threat match for the championship. Seth Rollins defeated Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Undertaker defeated Bray Wyatt. United States Championship, John Cena defeated Rusev. AJ Lee and Paige defeated the Bella Twins. No DQ match, Triple H defeated Sting. Randy Orton defeated Seth Rollins, and a ladder match for the IC Championship. Daniel Bryan defeated Luke Harper, Stardust, Dolph Ziggler, Bad News Barrett, R-Truth, and Dean Ambrose. Number 7 was WrestleMania 20. WWE celebrated 2 decades of WrestleMania with a show that may have been too long, but featured one of the best matches in event history. A classic Eddie Guerrero title defense and 2 criminally underrated contests. Let's see. Match card. Triple threat match for the World Championship. Chris Benoit defeated Triple H and Shawn Michaels. The Undertaker defeated Kane. WWE Championship. Eddie Guerrero defeated Kurt Angle. WWE Women's Championship. Victoria defeated Molly Holly. Fatal 4-way match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Scotty 2 Hotty and Rikishi beat the Basham Brothers, APA, and World's Greatest Tag Team. Goldberg defeated Brock Lesnar. Cruiserweight Open for the Cruiserweight title. Chavo Guerrero defeated Akio, Billy Kidman, Funaki, Jamie Noble, Nunzio, Rey Mysterio, Shannon Moore, Tajiri, and Ultimo Dragon. A Playboy evening gown match. Tori Wilson and Sable defeated Stacy Keibler and Miss Jackie. A 3-on-2 handicap match. Evolution defeated Rockin' McFoley. Christian defeated Chris Jericho. Fatal 4-way match for the Raw Tag Titles. Rob Van Dam and Booker T defeated Mark Jindrak and Garrison Cade, La Resistance, and the Dudley Boys. And the United States Championship, John Cena defeated The Big Show. Let's see. Number 6, WrestleMania 21. WrestleMania went Hollywood for the first time in 2005. Match card for that one. World Heavyweight Championship, Batista defeated Triple H. WWE Championship, John Cena defeated Bradshaw. Sumo match. El Cabino defeated The Big Show. Kurt Angle defeated Shawn Michaels. WWE Women's Championship, Trish Stratus defeated Christy Hemme. Undertaker defeated Randy Orton. Money in the Bank ladder match. Edge defeated Kane, Chris Benoit, Shelton Benjamin, Christian, and Chris Jericho. And Rey Mysterio defeated Eddie Guerrero. Number 5, WrestleMania 3 set the bar for the spectacle and grandeur of the Showcase the Immortals has become known for. The inaugural event leaned heavily on celebrity involvement. The third meshed in the in-ring spectacle. This is the one where WWE Championship, Hulk Hogan defeated Andre the Giant and body slammed him. It was the body slam heard around the world. Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov defeated the Killer Bees. Honky Tonk Man defeated Jake the Snake Roberts. Intercontinental Championship, Ricky Steamboat defeated Macho Man Randy Savage. The Natural Butch Reed defeated Coco Beware. The Hart Foundation and Danny Davis defeated the British Bulldogs and Tito Santana. Roddy Piper defeated Adrian Adnos in a hair versus hair match. The Dream Team defeated the Fabulous Rougeaus. Harley Race defeated the Junkyard Dog. Hillbilly Jim, Haiti Kid, and Little Beaver defeated King Kong Bundy, Lord Littlebrook, and Little Tokyo via disqualification. Billy Jack Hayes fought Hercules to a double countout, and the Can-Am Connection defeated Don Morocco and Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. WrestleMania 30 came in number 4. Much like Bret Hart a decade earlier, Daniel Bryan had to compete twice in one night to realize his dream of leaving the championship, and this was WrestleMania. Everybody remembers that card. Triple threat match for the world title, or for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Daniel Bryan defeated Batista and Randy Orton, and earlier in the night he had to defeat Triple H to get to that point. The Shield defeated the New Age Outlaws and Kane. Cesaro won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. John Cena defeated Bray Wyatt. Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker and ended the streak that night. Vicky Guerrero Invitational for the Women's Championship. AJ Lee defeated Summer Rae. Ascana, Alicia Fox, Brie Bella, Cameron, Emma, Eve Marie, Layla, Naomi, Natalia, Nikki Bella, Rosa Mendez, and Tamika Snuka. That's crazy. But yeah, that was the match card for that. WrestleMania 10 came in at number 3. Unless you are buddies with the reviewer or competing in the Tokyo Dome, 5-star matches are not an everyday occurrence. The idea that one show would have 2 of them is unheard of. But in 1994's WrestleMania 10, here was the list. WWE Championship, Bret Hart defeated Yokozuna. Ladder match for the Intercontinental title, Razor Ramon defeated Shawn Michaels. That was a 5-star match, definitely. Earthquake defeated Adam Bomb. WWE Championship, Yokozuna defeated Lex Luger via disqualification. WWE Tag Team Championship, Men on a Mission defeated the Quebecers by countout. WWE Women's Championship, Alundra Blaze defeated Lali Kai. Falls Count Anywhere match, Macho Man Randy Savage defeated Crush. A mixed tag match, Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Vachon defeated Doink and Dink. And Owen Hart defeated Bret Hart. Let's see. So Bret Hart wrestled twice in that night, and Yokozuna wrestled twice in that night, which is crazy. It says the Hitman was established on that night as the unquestioned face of the company, losing a heartbreaking match to his younger brother, but overcoming adversity to defeat the seemingly unconquerable Yokozuna to win the WWE Championship that he lost a year ago at the same event. So yeah. Let's see. WrestleMania XIX. I don't even know which one that is. Let's see. 10. I don't know. I don't know the Roman numerals that great. But they said this might be the greatest surprise produced by WWE. So here was the match card for that. WWE Championship, Brock Lesnar defeated Kurt Angle to win the title. The Rock defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin. A street fight, Hulk Hogan defeated Mr. McMahon. World Heavyweight Championship, Triple H defeated Booker T. Shawn Michaels defeated Chris Jericho. Triple threat match for the tag team titles. Team Angle defeated Los Guerreros and Rhino and Benoit. Triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. Trish Stratus defeated Victoria and Jazz to win the title. Handicap match, The Undertaker defeated Big Show and A-Train. And WWE Cruiserweight Championship, Matt Hardy defeated Rey Mysterio. And the number one WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 17. Now, I am biased. I would put WrestleMania 22 in the top 3 because I was there for that event. But here's the match results from WrestleMania 17. WWE Championship, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated The Rock. The Undertaker defeated Triple H. The Iron Sheik won the Gimmick Battle Royal. Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2 for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Edge and Christian defeated the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys. Street Fight, Shane McMahon defeated Vince McMahon. WWE Women's Championship, Chyna defeated Ivory to win the title. Kurt Angle defeated Chris Benoit. European Championship, Eddie Guerrero defeated Test. Hardcore Championship, Kane defeated Raven and Big Show to win the title. Taz and the APA defeated Right to Censor. And the Intercontinental Championship, Chris Jericho defeated William Regal. So there you have it. There's the top 10 best WrestleManias of all time ranked. And let's see. Let me know in an email. You can email me down below. You'll see in the comment section. You'll see my email address and all my social media. So go check that out and let me know what your favorite WrestleMania of all time was. I will see everybody next week. Next week we're going to have WrestleMania results. I'll let everybody know who won night 1 and night 2. Will we have new champions or will we not? We'll see. I'll see everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your WrestleMania parties and whatever you're doing for WrestleMania. If you're watching it, if you're not, then have fun doing whatever you're doing. And I'll see everybody next week. Let's get some warm weather going. It's spring. Stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, don't die. I'll see everybody next week. Peace.